women's volleyball on ESPN+. Coming to you live from Cape Girardeau, Missouri, in the Houck Fieldhouse. My name is Kyler Messenger. Today's matchup is between the Western Illinois Leathernecks and the Southeast Missouri State Redhawks. SEMO comes into this game 16-12 and on a 4-game winning streak. Western Illinois, the Leathernecks, come into this game 7-20 and on a 4-game losing streak. Let's take a look at our players to watch here for the matchup between the Leathernecks and the Redhawks. For SEMO, it's going to be Marin Johnson. Johnson is the OVC Offensive Player of the Week this week. That's right. After her week last week against Lindenwood, she earned the Offensive Player of the Week. On the season, she's got 277 kills, 15 aces, and 119 digs. Johnson, the sophomore, has had a fantastic start to the season. Over on the Leatherneck side, it's none other than the woman herself, Kiana Cruz. Cruz, the graduate senior, has been with this program for 6 years. She's got 357 kills on the year. She leads this team in kills and digs. We're going to go ahead and take a look at our starting lineups today between Western Illinois and SEMO. But before we do that, we'll take a quick look at the head coach for the Redhawks, Julie Yankis. A major statistic for you people at home to know. Julie Yankis just earned her 150th career OVC win. That's right. Last Saturday against Lindenwood, when the Redhawks won, Yankis earned her 150th career win in the OVC. Yankis been with the Redhawks for 15 years, so a big congratulations goes out to Julie Yankis. Over on the Western Illinois side, they are coached by Dale Starr. Starr in his 4th year here with the Western Illinois program, and we are underway. Western Illinois will get the first serve. SEMO on defense first. You see that starting lineup of the Redhawks: Avery Torrey on the outside, a Landry Blue setting, Ramiri Gardner in the middle, Lucy Arndt, Marin Johnson, and the starting libero today, Holland Gilliams. It'll be Cruz to serve for Western Illinois. And here we are, Gilliams with the first touch. Blue sets to Gardner, and Gardner gets the day started. Ramiri Gardner is coming off of her best game of the season. In last week's game against Lindenwood, Gardner hit an astonishing 7-14. She swung and connected on 71% of the balls that she hit. Gardner airs on that one, gives the Leathernecks the tie. But wow, Ramiri Gardner coming off of a fantastic game in which she had 3 aces. Starts the game off with an air, but no worries for her. She's looking for those kills. Her and Beal Smith laughing it off on the bench. Illinois serve goes to SEMO. Torrey with the hit, and it was not touched at the net. The Leathernecks are on the board, except the Redhawks are arguing. I also thought that ball might have got grasped, but it did not. We will not go to a replay. It will be Western Illinois' point, and the serve is underway. First touch by Gilliams. Set over to Marin Johnson, and it's going to be SEMO's point. Marin Johnson, the player to watch for today's game for a reason. Last week had 30 kills. This is a stat between the 2 games that SEMO played against Lindenwood. She had a combined 30 kills and hit 365, a 365 hitting percentage against the Lindenwood Lions. It's Megan Holder back to serve for SEMO. The Leathernecks attack. Set by Holder. Over to Johnson. That one returned. Set, hit, but a little bit too far for the Leathernecks. SEMO watches that ball go out of bounds, and they take the lead 3-2. Redhawks back to serve. It's still Holder. The set by Boss. Tipped over for Western Illinois. SEMO gets another chance. Johnson, and it's just a defensive error by Kiana Cruz. That ball goes in between her set attempt, and SEMO goes up 2. I mentioned earlier, SEMO is coming off of 4 straight wins. They most recently swept Lindenwood. They beat them in the first game last Friday with a score of 3-0. And then last Saturday, Lindenwood took 1 set. SEMO beat them 3-1. Gilliams with the set. Holder sets it to Arndt, and that one gets over. Looked like it was blocked by the Leathernecks, so a block attempt was put up. They got a hand on it, but it wasn't a successful one. Arndt finishes that play for her first kill of the match. The set by Boss. It was Franklin swinging, and SEMO was able to return it. Marin Johnson's hit is going to be returned. Adair sends that one over. Holder sets. Katie St. John on the outside is returned. It'll be Oxen Connect. They go to St. John again, and she is blocked at the net. Western Illinois right back on the board. Looked like that was Kennedy Adair who got her hands on that one and got the block. Here comes the attack from SEMO, and it will be a successful one at that. OVC Offensive Player of the Week, Marin Johnson with the kill. Nice work by Johnson on that one. SEMO brings in Schubert to serve, the team leader in aces, who didn't get the start. Holland Gilliams was the one to get the start, who got the first touch in that back row on that play, which ended in a Western Illinois point. Ulatowski back to serve for the Leathernecks, and that one is killed by Kara Oxen Connect. Oxen Connect absolutely connects with that ball, no doubt about it. First kill of the day for Kara Oxen Connect. It's Holland Gilliams back to serve for SEMO. You see her kind of having that diagonal run-up signature for Gilliams. Schubert with the dig. Lucy Arndt going for the kill, and it will be returned by the Leathernecks. Set by Holder to Ramiri Gardner. Ramiri Gardner is 2 for 2, ladies and gentlemen. 2 kills, 2 attacks, and we got to talk about it. This last game that SEMO played against Lindenwood, Ramiri Gardner was 10 for 14. She hit 714. She's hitting 1,000 on the day so far. Gilliams with the serve. First touch, a little give and go by Cruz, but SEMO's able to return it. They go to St. John, who's blocked, but the defense of the Red Hawks able to keep that ball up. It's set on the right side. Ziegler's kill was able to be returned. Her hit was able to be returned. It's set. Back row set for Ulatowski. And it is SEMO's point. See Coach Yankus right here going for her 151st OVC victory. They set on the outside to Cruz, and Cruz kills. Let's take a quick look at our keys to the match for this matchup for these two teams. For SEMO, right on cue, as you see that outside hit by Kiana Cruz, it's Cruz control. This Red Hawks roster has to stop Kiana Cruz. She leads this team in kills and assists. And for the Leathernecks, they got to stay competitive, as you see them doing right on cue. Elizabeth Ziegler with the kill. And as I was just saying, Western Illinois, they need to stay competitive. This team sitting 9th in the OVC right now, just outside that playoff picture. They're 4-10, but they got 4 more games left. Today and tomorrow versus SEMO, and then 2 more versus Southern Indiana next week. They got to stay competitive. They can make the playoffs still. They got to stay in this thing. And for SEMO, just to repeat, they got to get on Cruz control. You got to stop Kiana Cruz. Here comes the kill from SEMO. It's returned. Cruz stopped by Schubert with the dig. Holder, back set to St. John, who just floats it up there. A soft kill for St. John, who has been blocked on 2 of her kill attempts earlier in the game, finds a way to get on the board. That's some resilience shown there by the freshman. SEMO up 4 right now, sitting at 10-6. Team leader in kills is Marin Johnson. She's got 3 on the day. Blue is back to serve for the Redhawks. Set by Lane. Cruz on the outside, returned by Lucy Arndt and Nina Schuberth. Lane with the dig, and Ramiri Gardner plants her foot and sends that ball into the ground. 3-4-3. Ladies and gentlemen, Ramiri Gardner is 3-for-3. She hasn't missed an attempt yet. Alondra Blue back to serve for SEMO. First touched by Cruz. They set in the middle to Estes, and Estes gets her first kill of the day. Holland Gilliams and Alandry Blue both getting the start for the Redhawks. Gilliams and Blue been every match players for the Redhawks this season, but they have been on the latter part of the season. These two competing in their 4th straight matches together, and now they get the starting spot for the Redhawks. Blue gets over for the set and finds Arndt. Arndt yet to record multiple kills today. She's sitting at 1, and that was Kiana Cruz with the kill. Kiana Cruz is just a fantastic volleyball player. We talked to Coach Yankus before the match. She was hoping that Cruz wasn't going to be on this roster before the season started. Cruz has been on this roster for many, many years. She's a graduate senior, got 1 more year of eligibility, and decided to stay home with the Leathernecks. Blue sets for Gardner. And oh man, do I feel responsible for that miss. I called 3-for-3 earlier. I shouldn't have done it. I knew I shouldn't have done it. The announcer's jinx is real. Ramiri Gardner now 3-for-4 as Western Illinois gets on the board. That monologue was absolutely atrocious because Ramiri Gardner is 4-for-4. Lucy Arndt grabs an ace right after it. It looks like the point before was rewarded to SEMO. Something in my eyes told me that was rewarded to the Leathernecks, and I was incorrect. I do apologize for that. Back-to-back points for SEMO, and Ramiri Gardner is still hitting 1,000 on the day. She's 4-for-4 so far. Kill by Kiana Cruz. It's handled by Gilliams. Lucy Arndt comes from nowhere. Seriously, where did she come from? Lucy Arndt from the back row with her 2nd kill of the day. Gets it on her own serve. And that's going to take us to our first break. SEMO 14, Western Illinois 8. I'm Kyler Messenger. We'll be right back. You're watching OVC Women's Volleyball on ESPN+.
Serve Pro, like it never even happened.
Founded in 1910 in the Ohio Valley region, German American Bank has been raising the standards in banking and wealth management for over a century. We're big enough to provide the conveniences of modern banking, yet small enough to care about the people and communities we serve. Because we believe that when a community thrives, its people prosper. Strengthening our community since 1910. German American Bank.
Member FDIC.
Kids are always snacking on the go, so keep them going all day with chewy, delicious Sunbelt bakery bars. From oats and honey, to chocolate chip, to soft baked strawberry.
And we are back into the Ohio Valley Conference Women's Volleyball here on ESPN+. We had to bring it out real quickly. We apologize for nearly missing that play. SEMO got on the board. They're now on a 4-0 scoring run. The score was 10-8 at one point here in Houck Fieldhouse. Now we're sitting at 15-8. Blue with the first touch. Gilliams with the second. Avery Torrey with the third. And that ball returned by the Leathernecks. Blue sets to Gardner. Still hasn't missed an attack. Set on the outside to Franklin. And Marin Johnson tips that one. Kaya Franklin has to send that one over. Avery Torrey with the first touch. A little give and go between Torrey and Blue. And we are still playing. We're rallying. They're going to Cruz. And Cruz will finish the play. She parks the dock and gives Western Illinois their 9th point. Kiana Cruz, 357 kills coming into today's match. She's now at 360 kills on the year. Blue sets for Maren Johnson, who's almost able to complete the play, and then Western Illinois almost hits it right back. We're still going. Johnson's kill. Now it's set in the back row for Cruz. Gilliams sets for Torrey. Torrey swings. It's set to Franklin. We are still rallying. Boss in the back row to Cruz. Gilliams back row to back row with Lucy Arndt. Set by Boss on the outside to Estes. Excuse me, it's Adair on the outside and Kennedy Adair with the point. It's Kennedy Adair with the kill on that left side for the Leathernecks. She gets her second kill of the evening. Western Illinois is running. A little bit of a run they're having here. Ramiri Gardner. What? That ball looked like it had some spin on it. And she was right in the middle. It doesn't matter for Western Illinois. They take that point. Kiana Cruz is having herself a serving outing so far today. Kiana Cruz already has 9 digs in the first set here. Ladies and gentlemen, SEMO has 11 kills. Kiana Cruz has 9 digs. The second bleeding digger, I suppose you could say, on the Western Illinois Leathernecks has 4. It's Carly Lane, the libero, with 4. And Cruz has 9. During this entire dig monologue, we have still been playing Lucy Arndt with a fantastic dig, a near dig, a fantastic effort to get that dig. And even though SEMO lost the point, you still see Nina Schubert and Mackenzie Tucker get into it on the sideline. Western Illinois on a 4-0 scoring run. They just came back, and they're hoping to continue this. Here's Cruz. Hit by Maren Johnson. Set by Boss. Estes in the middle. Set by Blue. Johnson with the kill. Maren Johnson last week, as we said, OVC Offensive Player of the Week against Lindenwood. She set her season high 20 kills last Friday on November the 7th. As that serve goes a little bit too far for the Redhawks, they turn the ball over right back to Western Illinois. They'll get another chance to keep adding some points. Maren Johnson, last game against Lindenwood, 10 kills. Game before that, 20 kills. Set by Alandry Blue. Avery Torrey on the right side, and what a strike. Avery Torrey, graduate senior who got the start tonight. Saw SEMO last Saturday against Lindenwood celebrate a little bit of a senior night. Boss sets on the outside. Looks like it was Adair with her 4th kill of the match. That's right, that was Kennedy Adair. She's now up to 4. She's swinging 286 on the evening so far. Has had 7 attempts with 4 kills. There's the serve from the Leathernecks. A little bit of a miscommunication from the Redhawks. And Maren Johnson nearly sneaks that ball over the net. Something funny about Maren Johnson. We talked to Coach Yankus before this match begun, and she said that this team kind of focuses on setting Johnson badly. Now, obviously, no head coach is actually telling their players to set the ball bad. That's not what I'm saying, as Oxen Connect gets the point on the slide. But Maren Johnson seemingly has been hitting the ball better on rough sets as compared to perfect sets. You know, Yankus said, you see a perfect set for Johnson, she might get the kill, she might not. You set a bad set for Johnson, and she's definitely getting the kill. Johnson has just been absolutely adaptive this year. She's been able to hit the ball in places where she really shouldn't even be able to hit it. Nina Schubert back to serve for SEMO. An air for Schubert. SEMO's leader in aces. It's an air with that one. Not wearing a libero jersey today. It's Holland Gilliams with the libero Schubert's not wearing it, so she can play back there in that back row with Gilliams. If you're not familiar with volleyball, you can't have two liberos on the court at the same time. There's only one. This Oxen Connect is stuffed by the net at the line. So, Division I volleyball and all volleyball for that matter, only one libero. They take Nina Schubert off of libero duties, make sure Gilliams has it today, so Gilliams can only play in the back row. Schubert will probably only play in the back row, but she's available to be in the front in case they felt like Schubert needed some swings. Speaking of Schubert, what an eye Nina Schubert has. I don't know how she was able to resist that ball. It still looked in to me, but somehow she let that ball go out, and it was a perfect eye. SEMO gets on the board again. It'll be a libero. Gilliams back to serve. The set on the outside to Cruz, and Schubert was there. Lucy Arndt attacking. Set to Cruz again, and it's blocked. Ramiri Gardner, Katie St. John, both adding a block assist to the stat sheet. And that's going to cause Western Illinois to take their first timeout of the set. SEMO 20, Western Illinois 17, and we are in our first break of the game. Well, our second break, but our first timeout. What a match this has been so far. A little bit of back and forth. We've seen SEMO go on a 4-0 run. You've seen Western Illinois go on a 4-0 run as Coach Julie Yankus is talking to her squad. Coach Dale Starr talking to his squad over here. You look at the Western Illinois coaching staff. You see Mr. Starr down there. That is their head coach, led by assistant coaches Alex Becerra and Samai Mamesola. The assistant coaches there for Western Illinois. Mamesola, the woman with the glasses on the right, and Becerra right behind Starr, that Western Illinois coaching staff. And we're going to go ahead and look at the SEMO coaching staff as well. Julie Yankus, that head coach, directly behind her in the black shirt, Jenny Shuk. Shuk is still a senior here at SEMO. She was on this Red Hawk squad last year, now a student assistant. Also, Tara Bealsmith, an assistant coach for the SEMO squad, also a former player of Julie Yankus. Two other assistant coaches for SEMO, assistant coach Mark Moore and assistant coach Maureen Johnson, or MJ, as the team calls her. A little fun fact about MJ. MJ used to be the recruiting coordinator for Western Illinois. We got a little bit of a rivalry going on. Maureen Johnson, the former Western Illinois recruiting coordinator, now associate head coach for SEMO, getting a run to beat her old school. Kiana Cruz's kill is not able to land. SEMO's able to return it, and here comes Western Illinois striking back. We got a rally on our hands. Holder to Arndt, and that'll end the rally. Western Illinois, the succeeders of that one, they take the point, and they're only down 2. It's Carly Lane back to serve for the Leathernecks. Is that Abby Johnson line judging? Ladies and gentlemen, the former SEMO Red Hawk, Abby Johnson, is line judging. As Western Illinois goes and grabs the point, I am sorry, I had to be appalled by that. That is Abby Johnson, literally on this team last year, was a graduate senior transfer for the SEMO Red Hawks, and now she's back line judging for SEMO. How about that? Lucy Arndt with the attack, and we're playing. Here comes the Leathernecks. What a placement on that one. And that one's going to be called in. It looks like Johnson unsure on if that ball went in or out. Doesn't call it. The main referee gets the call. And Western Illinois ties the game up 20-20. Abby Johnson, the former Red Hawk, now line judging here in the Houck Fieldhouse. We'll take a look at some of our stats in this first set so far. It's been back and forth, and you can see it by the score sheet. It's a tie ball game. SEMO's got 14 kills. Western Illinois has 11. Well, SEMO's got more kills, but they also got more airs. SEMO has 5 airs, attacking airs, while Western Illinois only has 3. Something that Coach Yankus is definitely trying to hone in on this team right now. You see her pumping the fist, showing them how to attack. You want to attack that ball down, get them over those defenders. SEMO hoping to come out of this break a little bit stronger than the way they came into it. Currently, SEMO has 3 serving airs to Western Illinois' 1. Western Illinois on a 3-0 run. thanks to kills by Elizabeth Ziegler, an ace by Carly Lane, and an attacking error by Lucy Arndt of SEMO. That is how they just went on this 3-0 run. Kiana Cruz, 3 kills on the day. Kennedy Adair, 4 kills on the day. And Elizabeth Ziegler, 2 kills on the day. It's Carly Lane back to serve for Western Illinois. We got an electric first set so far, ladies and gentlemen. This has been a great game. The second to last series for both of these teams in the regular season. SEMO sitting 6th in the OVC as Lucy Arndt, after the timeout, gets them on the board first. SEMO sitting 6th in the OVC, currently in the playoff picture. SEMO, the reigning regular season champs. This is a team that goes on runs. Mid-season, they went on a 5-game losing streak, and currently they're on a 4-game winning streak. They just go back and forth, and right now is absolutely the time to start gelling and to start getting those wins as you head into the playoff picture. Western Illinois grabs the point on that one, and they'll bring it back to a tie. Kaya Franklin checks back in for Western Illinois. It's Franklin, Kiana Cruz, and Hillary Estes up there on the front line for the Leathernecks. It's currently 21-21. And the serve was sent in by Jalea Boss. A nice tip there by Estes. I believe it was Estes. That's right. Too wide of a smile for her to not be the one who got that kill. Estes grabs her second of the night. It's the freshman, Jalea Boss, back to serve. One of 2 main setters for this Western Illinois team. They run a little bit of a 6-2 formation. If you aren't familiar, you can run a 6-2 or a 5-1 in volleyball. 6-2, you'll run a lineup with 2 setters. 5-1, you run a lineup with 1 setter. Both of these teams, the Redhawks and the Leathernecks, running 6-2s tonight. An interesting matchup. Both these teams know what's coming at them because they play. Here comes Lucy Arndt with the serve. A floater gets over Boss, tries to one-hand tip it to Cruz. She does so successfully. Blue sets to Johnson. Boss was stuffed at the line by Johnson, but somehow the Leathernecks kept that ball alive. The set goes behind Johnson. Set to Cruz. Gilliams gets a dig. That went a little bit too close to the line, though, and it looks like a penalty was called, an infraction was called on the Redhawks. And it'll be Kiana Cruz's serve. The Leathernecks go up 1. Cruz will be the one to serve. A successful one at that. Alondra Blue sets to Tori, and Ramiri Gardner with the hit. How about a time to come back alive? Ramiri Gardner doing it at the perfect time. Gardner with her 5th kill of the first set. Her 5th kill of the first set. Gardner is playing fantastic so far tonight in Cape Girardeau, leading SEMO in kills with that one. Boss with a tip. Jalea Boss with the sauce. Tips that one right over the net. SEMO didn't see it coming. What a boss play by Jalea Boss. It'll be Estes to serve for the Leathernecks. Gilliams able to handle that serve, and Johnson gets the kill. These 2 teams just exchanging points. Back and forth, back and forth. We just saw SEMO get a point. We just saw Western Illinois get a point. And it's 24-24. It's not set point. Gotta win by 2 here. You go to 25, but you gotta win by 2. SEMO brings in Megan Holder to serve. Hoping she can knock in 2 straight and not hold too much extras. We'll see what goes on here. Boss sets to Franklin. It's first touch by Holder. Arndt grabs the second, and Johnson is able to hit it over for the third. Free play for the Leathernecks. Set by Holder. Johnson's attack, unsuccessful. Boss sets to Estes, and it's a SEMO point. It was a dare that Jalea Boss set to for Western Illinois. It's Kennedy Adair with an attacking error. I was almost going to say serving error. Most definitely not a serving error for Adair. And Megan Holder gets her first serve, hoping to get the second one. Cruz over to Franklin, and it's blocked. Marin Johnson walking off powerfully. I mean, how about that, Marin Johnson? OVC Offensive Player of the Week. She's not one-sided. She plays defense, too. We'll see you in the second set. I'm Kyler Messenger, and SEMO is up 1-0 thanks to a block by Marin Johnson. You're watching OVC Women's Volleyball on ESPN+. Welcome you back to the Houck Fieldhouse. It's a matchup between the Southeast Missouri State Redhawks and the Western Illinois Leathernecks. Western Illinois coming from Macomb, Illinois, and SEMO right here at home in Cape Girardeau, Missouri. You're looking at that SEMO huddle. Now you're looking at the Western Illinois leader in kills and digs on the season, Kiana Cruz. So far in the first set, Cruz had 5 kills. The Western Illinois Leathernecks were sharing the love a little bit. Cruz had 5 kills, Adair had 4, and Ziegler had 2. Your top 3 kill leaders for Western Illinois, leading it in the first set. Over on the SEMO side, in the kill department, Marin Johnson, OVC Offensive Player of the Week, by the way, leading the team in kills with 5. But she's not doing it alone. She is tied with 5 with Ramiri Gardner. Gardner is 5 for 8 and is hitting .625 in today's match through the first set. She has 5 kills on 8 total attacks. She has a block and a serving error to finish her stats on the day. But Ramiri Gardner, what a day so far. A quick stat to look at for both of these squads. SEMO and Western Illinois both have a player in the 1,000 kill club, and it happened this year. That's right, Kiana Cruz and Lucy Arndt for SEMO, both in the 1,000 kill club. An astonishing record for anybody to get, and we're seeing 2 players get it today. I mean, what a volleyball matchup we have for us. We saw the first set end up in a SEMO win, but they took it in extras, 26-24. Oh man, I can't wait for the rest of this volleyball game. I am excited. Kiana Cruz looking to continue the way that she's been cruising. SEMO looking to have some cruise control. Here is SEMO with the serve, and we're underway. The set for Franklin, unsuccessful. SEMO comes out of the break and gets on the board first. Here comes Lucy Arndt. An ace. An ace for Lucy Arndt. It's not her first of the day. It's not even her second. Lucy Arndt, 3 plays into the second set, has 3 aces. Nearly a fourth on that one. Still in contention for it. But Western Illinois is able to keep it alive. A Landry Blue, what a dig. It's set by Boss. Blue sets for Johnson. Johnson blocked at the line. Gilliam's dives, almost keeps it in play. Unfortunately for SEMO, goes out of bounds. And Western Illinois is on the board. Hillary Estes back to serve for Western Illinois. Gilliam's first touch sets to Blue. Blue sets to Tori. Tori strings a little bit too strong. Hillary Estes is still serving for Western Illinois. The team leader in blocks. Team leader in blocks. She's got 94 blocks on the year. SEMO gets right back on the board. Estes subs out for Lane. And Ramiri Gardner goes back to serve for the Red Hawks. Here comes the serve from Gardner. Out. Just a little bit too far. Ramiri Gardner on the day. 2 serves and 2 serving aces. Nonetheless, though, that is not to take away from Ramiri Gardner. Ladies and gentlemen, Ramiri Gardner has 6 kills on 9 attempts. She leads all players in kills right now. Lucy Arndt's first dig goes to a Landry Blue. First touch dig. It wasn't our first dig of the game. The effort by Western Illinois. Effortful, but just not enough. See Katie St. John check in. St. John, Oxen Connect, and Johnson lining up that front row for SEMO. Kara Oxen Connect has come alive on the second half of the season. A transfer student. This is her first year here at SEMO. She's a senior, so it could very possibly be her last volleyball season. Saw a slide on the outside from Kremer. Western Illinois was looking to find Grace Kremer on that outside slide. She hit the ball into the net and stayed on the top of the net and wasn't able to fall into playable territory. SEMO ready for the kill, but they weren't ready enough. Or should I say they just weren't ready for Elizabeth Ziegler. Ziegler grabs her 3rd kill of the day. Johnson gets a dig. Give and go. Johnson, Holder, Johnson. The next will return. Lane on the outside to Ziegler. Back-to-back kills. Excuse me. Back-to-back attempts for Ziegler. Western Illinois celebrated a little bit. Thought they might have got that kill. And it looks like it went out of bounds. Offered a touch to SEMO to the naked eye. But the referee doesn't call that. It's an infraction. SEMO grabs the point, and Nina Schubert is back to serve. Served by Schubert, just gets over. She's looking for that ace, and the defense by Western Illinois is able to not give her that ace. Katie St. John grabs her first kill of the day. Take a look at this replay from St. John right off of the net. Perfect hit there from Katie St. John to get her first kill. And SEMO's serve results in an error. Western Illinois gets the ball back. They'll send Carly Lane back to serve. This is the bench there for Western Illinois. Running, as we mentioned earlier, that 6-2 today with Alicia Perez and Jalea Boss. SEMO, on the other hand, running that 6-2 with a Landry Holder. Oh, my goodness, I just mixed their names up. If you're a SEMO fan, you know what I just did, and I apologize. A Landry Blue and Megan Holder, the setters for the Red Hawks. A little miscommunication between Holder and Arndt. Set for St. John. She finds it again. Kara Oxen Connect. What a communication pattern from Kara Oxen Connect. That is what we need to look for in that replay. Kara Oxenкnecht was yelling at Katie St. John that the ball was right there. St. John killed it, and the ball went right back to her. Oxenкnecht yells at St. John, and St. John is able to keep the ball in play. Fantastic camaraderie there shown by Kara Oxenкnecht to help SEMO get their 8th point of the second set. Set by Perez to Cruz. Here comes St. John. It looks like Cruz got a hand on it. So did Carly Lane, but it's not enough. Katie St. John, too strong, gets that one by. Take a real quick look at that replay. Katie St. John getting on the board here in the second set. Oxenкnecht serve. Set by Perez on the outside to Cruz, and a successful kill goes to Kiana Cruz. Mentioned that 1,000 club earlier. Kiana Cruz and Lucy Arndt both hit the 1,000 club this season. Lucy Arndt, a junior, Kiana Cruz, a graduate senior, both joined the 1,000 kill club in the 2025 season. So a huge congratulations to those girls for a stellar season and stellar careers that they've had. Boss with the serve. Holder somehow with the angle gets that ball up, and it'll be a Red Hawks point. St. John and Tori sub out for each other. Blue and Holder sub out. You see Maureen Johnson and Coach Julie Yankas laughing it up on the bench. Some of this SEMO squad has, and I wouldn't say it's what they haven't had in previous years. They have had camaraderie. They have had friendship in the past. But this team has really built a bond this year. These girls love each other, and as Coach Yankas said, each and every one of them would drive through a brick wall for the other one. An absolute team working of a team that SEMO has this year. We're hoping that'll help them make a push to the playoffs coming up. Ramiri Gardner, another kill. She's got 8. I mean, seriously, what a week for Ramiri Gardner. She comes off of that game that we just been mentioning, the 10 kill, 14 attempts, 71 hitting percentage game. Estes slides on the back for Western Illinois after this play. Talk about Ramiri Gardner some more. Lucy Arndt with the kill, getting on the board herself. She's up to 6. Ramiri Gardner comes off of last game versus Lindenwood. I just said it, but I gotta say it again. 10 kills, 14 attempts, and she swung 71.4%. Today, she's got 8 kills on 11 attempts, swinging 72.7%. Nearly an identical stat line to what she had just 2 nights ago. And we're in the second set. That's going to cause Western Illinois to take a timeout. SEMO is up 13-6. I'm Kyler Messenger, and we'll be right back on ESPN+. The wait is over. Red Hawks versus the Leathernecks. Volleyball is back. You're looking at Ramiri Gardner and Lucy Arndt and Avery Torrey on the front line for the Red Hawks. Landry Blue is back to serve. And SEMO's up 13-6. They took that first set 26-24. And the first serve after break is just a little bit too far. Western Illinois gets on the board. Kiana Cruz set to serve. SEMO was just, right before that serving error, was just on a 4-0 run. Now that is stopped by Western Illinois. Schubert, a high arcing dig, finds Blue, and who does Blue find? It's Ramiri Gardner. Surprise, surprise. Well, not to you or I. You being the one watching this game, me also being the one watching this game. Ramiri Gardner is killing it. 9 kills on 12 attacks. Here is Lucy Arndt with the serve. First touched by Carly Lane. The outside hit by Kennedy Adair, just a little bit too far. SEMO watches that one go out of bounds. We'll take an 8-point lead here in the second set. The largest lead that we have seen between the first and second set. Set by Boss. Estes in the middle. Blue to Johnson on the left. Lane grabs the first touch. Boss over on the outside to Adair. And after an attack, Adair says, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on you again. Adair grabs the point for Western Illinois. Estes with the serve, and it will be short. Western Illinois turns the ball right back over to the Redhawks. Holland Gilliam's back to serve. Gilliam's 9 digs on the day so far. She's leading the squad. Blue with the set to Kara Ogzik Connect, looking where the defense isn't. She almost finds it, but Cruz was there. Blue grabs the first touch. Ogzik Connect with the second, and Avery Torrey finishes the play. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to knock on wood as I say this next statement. I've already messed up Ramiri Gardner, and I'm not trying to mess up anybody, but it would be a fault of mine if I didn't inform the public that Holland Gilliams has 3 straight games with a 1,000 reception percentage. Holland Gilliams in the last 3 games has not missed a dig. Holland Gilliams watches that one go, and she's still serving. And I just knocked on wood in case anybody was wondering. That causes Western Illinois to take a timeout here in the second set. SEMO 18, Western Illinois 8. SEMO has come out in this second set and has just played a completely different game. Look at this SEMO huddle that you got going on. You got Julie Yankees with the setters and the outside hitters. And who is that in the mini huddle? It's Tara Beal-Smith with Holland Gilliams and Nina Schubert. What an asset it is to have Tara Beal-Smith on your coaching staff. This is not only a former player of Julie Yankees. This is not only a former SEMO libero. This is a former SEMO libero who leads the OVC in digs all time. Doesn't lead SEMO in digs all time, leads the OVC in digs all time. Tara Beal-Smith grabs her 2 liberos and talks to them on the side. I mean, seriously, Nina Schubert last year won OVC Defensive Player of the Year, and this year gets to add a coaching partner in Tara Beal-Smith, her former teammates. Beal-Smith has absolutely been a great addition to this SEMO squad so far this year. Could partially be one of the reasons why they're up 10. Holland Gilliams, definitely one of those reasons. Ramiri Gardner, most definitely one of those reasons. Mary, so far on the day, has 9 kills on 12 attacks. She's also got 2 blocks. In case she wasn't doing enough, hitting 75%, she's also got 2 blocks. Boss sets to Franklin on the outside, and Western Illinois is looking to come into this game. They're looking to come alive, and they're going to do just that thanks to Kaya Franklin. Franklin, after getting the block, checks out, gets this team the momentum that they needed. We talked about it before the game, the keys to the match. For Western Illinois, they got to stay competitive throughout this whole game. Even when you're down 10, like they just were, they still come out and they're still looking to be scrappy and get every point they can. They watch that ball go out. Great call there by the line judge, former middle blocker, Abby Johnson. Serve by Western Illinois, and it will be an ace An error by that Red Hawks defense causes Western Illinois to get their third straight point. A 3-0 run for the Leathernecks, and Perez is still serving until that point. SEMO watches that one go. You see the bench doing that O-U-T, see ya, and SEMO goes up 8. Gilliams and Katie St. John. A little sneak peek of their handshake in case you missed it. Here's Megan Holder's serve. First touched by Western Illinois. It looks like it was a give and go with Kennedy Adair. Johnson with a tip, and Adair is everywhere. She's sliding in to save that ball. Ziegler with the kill, or with an attack. Holder sets for Oxen Connect. Holder sets for St. John. We're still playing lane to Perez. Over to Adair. Kennedy Adair now tied for the Western Illinois team lead, 6 kills. Look at that play. You see the effort from Lucy Arndt in the back row, but it wasn't enough. This is Grace Ulatowski serving for the Leathernecks. And Ulatowski gets Western Illinois on the board. Ulatowski still serving here. The defensive specialist from Lamont, Illinois. Ulatowski. Holder sets for Johnson. And Ulatowski isn't serving no more because Marin Johnson had enough. Marin Johnson gets back on the board. Her 6th kill of the day. It's Grace Ulatowski there who just served. And now it's Nina Schubert back to serve. Set by, it looks like it was Boss who said it, Cruz with the kill. I think it was Perez who said it. Alicia Perez with the assist. Kiana Cruz with the kill. Carly Lane with the serve, starting libero for the Leathernecks. Holder sets to Oxen Connect. And some mumbo jumbo at the net. That ball was tangled up in there. They're still playing. Sets for Arndt. Lucy Arndt. A scary, scary strong hit. Lucy Arndt up to 7 kills on the night. SEMO up 7. Looking at a football score here in this volleyball match. Western Illinois 14, SEMO 21. Kara Oxen Connect, team leader in blocks. Back to serve. Set by Perez. Estes was the one to hit. Lucy Arndt floats it up off the neck of Estes, I believe. Lane, free ball for SEMO. They're unable to have a successful attack. Lane with a set for Ziegler, and that'll be a successful kill for Elizabeth Ziegler. Ziegler grabs her 4th kill of the day. Speaking of the number 4, we got some weirdly specific number 4 stats for you guys today. Well, the SEMO team has 4 new commits to the roster. 4 new girls are going to be on this team next year as freshmen. That's Ava Matthews, Brooklyn Ritter, Sydney Miller, and Paige Smith. A huge congratulations to those 4 for their commitment to the Southeast Missouri State Redhawks for next year. And also, speaking of the number 4, both of these teams on a 4-game winning and losing streak. SEMO on a 4-game winning streak. Western Illinois on a 4-game losing streak. I got one more for you guys. I know you're sorry of the number 4. This Western Illinois team has 4 players with college volleyball playing experience coming into this year. That's right. You see the roster. They have some juniors, they have some seniors, and they got a lot of freshmen. But those juniors and seniors weren't playing. Western Illinois had 7 seniors graduate last year. They had 7 seniors graduate. So their team only had 4 players who have ever played college volleyball before. It's just absurd to me. This is an inexperienced team playing an experienced SEMO team. Western Illinois and Coach Starr really looking to retool and rebuild this program after a ton of those seniors graduated last year. They're still having a strong season with what they've been given. SEMO takes a timeout, or it was Western Illinois' timeout, but we're still in this huddle. See Coach Yankus talking to the Red Hawks. Coach Dale Starr talking to Western Illinois. Coach Yankus, as we mentioned earlier, but it is mentionable again, has 150 OVC wins. In SEMO's last game against Lindenwood, she earned her 150th career win. Yankus is here in her 15th season at SEMO. And she's just continuing to grow. 150 OVC wins for Yankus. Let's take a look at Ramiri Gardner's stats in the game so far today. Ramiri Gardner has 9 kills. This is a junior, someone who's been with the SEMO squad for years and who has been familiar with Coach Yankus. Ramiri Gardner, 9 kills on 12 attacks in today's matchup. She is still hitting 75% through today's match. A huge shout out to our graphics analyst Levi Udinsky for a look at those kills for Ramiri Gardner. Our director for today's game, Matt Fitzgerald. Our executive producer and replay coordinator, Sierra Williams. A huge shout out to our ESPN camera crew operators, Sophia, Abdul, and Sebastian. I'm Kyler Messenger, broadcasting the game for you, and we're right back into action. SEMO 22, Western Illinois 16. SEMO hoping to come out of this timeout and finish the set. Western Illinois hoping to come out of this timeout and smell a little comeback. So Landry Blue back to serve for SEMO. Landry Blue set to serve. Referee gets on his podium. You hear the whistle. There it is. And we're underway. Here comes Blue. 3 points to go for the Red Hawks. First touched by Cruz. A slide by Estes. And it's unsuccessful. They've been looking for Estes on that backslide all day. SEMO comes out of that timeout just how they wanted. Blue still serving. Good set point. It's set by Boss. Now when Holland Gilliams with a dive. Landry Blue almost keeps it up. A huge, huge kill for Western Illinois. But wow, do we have to talk about the defensive effort by the Red Hawks. You see those girls smiling. Landry Blue, Nina Schuberth, and Holland Gilliams all with the effort. Schuberth with the dig, Gilliams with the diving dig, and then Blue nearly sends it over. It wasn't enough, but what a fantastic effort on set point. Kiana Cruz is set to serve for Western Illinois. Who other to set than Ramiri Gardner, but it's returned by Western Illinois. Schubert with another dive. Blue to Arndt, who somehow underhanded places that up. Franklin with the kill, and that one untouched. Great placement by Kaya Franklin. Served by Perez. Set by Blue. Lucy Arndt on the outside. And you know the referee's call was correct because she went against SEMO, and that's a former SEMO Red Hawk over there on the line. I know we mentioned it before, but a huge shout out to Abby Johnson. She got a shout out earlier this year on Alumni Night when Johnson showed up, and now Johnson here helping the team and the school out. Team player Abby Johnson was, and a team player she still is. Landry Blue sets for Ramiri Gardner, and Ramiri Gardner takes SEMO out of the set. Ramiri Gardner has a game-high 10 kills. Ramiri Gardner, 10 kills on 14 attacks. We'll see you in the third set. I'm Kyler Messenger. We'll be right back here on OVC Women's Volleyball. and welcome back into the Hauk Fieldhouse in Cape Girardeau. I'm Kyler Messenger, been with you through the first two sets, and now we're here in between the second and third set. SEMO has taken the last two sets victoriously, 25-18 in the last second set. And in that first set, Western Illinois held on a little bit longer, made SEMO go to extras. It was 24-26. Game high in kills is Ramiri Gardner with 10. Over on Western Illinois, it's Kiana Cruz with 8. We're going to take a look at our OVC conference standings. Take a look at these standings coming into today's match. Now look, after today, both of these teams have 3 more games. 1 with each other and 2 with their last matchup. Let's get to these conference standings. Morehead State is in first with 13-1 in the conference. Eastern Illinois is second at 12-2. These two teams match up against each other in the final week of OVC play. They're actually playing right now. Morehead State and Eastern Illinois matching up. So we'll see what goes down between those two teams and see who ends up victorious in the OVC. I'll give you guys an update. Eastern Illinois and Morehead State is currently 2-0 in Eastern Illinois' favor. The second place OVC team is beating the first place OVC team right now. And third is Southern Indiana. Under them, Little Rock in 4th, Tennessee Tech in 5th, SEMO in 6th, and Western Illinois in 9th. Some other OVC matchups going around today. Little Rock and Tennessee Tech are going down right now. We'll get you that live update as soon as we can. Also going down right now is Lindenwood and Southern Indiana. Currently, Lindenwood and Southern Indiana are in their third set. Lindenwood took the first set. Southern Indiana took the second. And Southern Indiana is leading 15-10 in the third. We'll keep you updated with that Southern Indiana Lindenwood score. We'll keep you updated with the Tennessee Tech and Little Rock score. Ladies and gentlemen, Tennessee Tech is up 2-0 going into the third set. They're also in between the second and third set as we are here in Cape Girardeau. You're looking at that huddle led by Dale Starr. Next to his left is Grace Latowski. We'll take a look at the Western Illinois Leathernecks kill leaders so far in today's matchup. It's Kiana Cruz leading the squad with 8. It's Kennedy Adair in second with 6. And it's Elizabeth Ziegler with 4. Western Illinois has been spreading the love today. For SEMO, their kill leaders, Ramiri Gardner has 10 kills on 14 attacks. Ladies and gentlemen, I know I've said it before, and I'm not sure if you remembered what I said, so I'm going to have to tell you again. Ramiri Gardner's last game finished with 10 kills on 14 attempts, a 714 hitting percentage. Ramiri Gardner, throughout the second set tonight, has 10 kills in 14 attempts. She's hitting 714. Ramiri Gardner, coming off of one of her best games, has duplicated that stat line identically. Literally identically. She has the same kills and the same attempts. But today's game isn't over. We're only in the second set. Third set will be underway shortly. You see Ramiri Gardner and Avery Torrey getting the start up front for the Redhawks. Lucy Arndt in the back row. And the one making those calls is none other than Julie Yankus, the head coach of the SEMO Redhawks. We talked about Yankus earlier. A fantastic year for the Redhawks. And Yankus, who just had 150 career OVC wins. Look at these Redhawks kill leaders of the day. It's Ramiri Gardner with 10. Lucy Arndt with 9. And Marin Johnson with 6. We are underway in the third set. Holland Gilliams is back to serve. Lucy Arndt in the back row. Roger Blue in the back row. Marin Johnson, Kara Oxenconnect, and Avery Torrey in the front. Gilliams set for Arndt. And it'll be 2-0 SEMO. SEMO goes up 2-0 in the second set of a match that they're already leading 2-0. Western Illinois took SEMO to 26 points in the first set. SEMO won 24-26 as that ball goes out. See Holland Gilliams talking to Coach Yankus. Yankus probably does not want to play a fourth set tonight. You got to play these guys tomorrow. Probably trying to go home, get a little bit of extra sleep tonight. Telling these girls to just keep going. Perez with a successful assist on the outside to Ashley Marker, getting her first touches in the game. Estes back to serve. Set by Blue. Tori on the outside is blocked, but unsuccessful. It goes back out of bounds, and Avery Tori is rewarded with the kill. Here's Megan Holder with the serve. Great dig by Cruz. Here comes Merkert again. And the Leathernecks are able to keep on the board. They have come out in this third set and have made it a different ball game. We're here in the third set here in the Houck Fieldhouse. Set by Megan Holder. Maren Johnson with the attack. And the dig is made by Lane. We're still playing. Katie St. John sends that one out of bounds. Western Illinois takes the lead, 4-3. Madeline Norton serving. Holland Gilliams, what an effort. How far did she hit that ball? All the way across court from the bench. A back set. Goes to look for a backslide, and it was unsuccessful for the Leathernecks. Successful for Kara Oxenconnect on the other side of the court. Oxenconnect. Connect. Oxenconnect has 4 kills on the match so far. A set in the middle to Ziegler. What a set there by Madeline Norton. And a beautiful kill by Elizabeth Ziegler. Will have to take credit for this. I did come up with this on my own. We got a new nickname coming in the studio for Kara Oxenconnect with 4 kills on the day. Connect 4 has 4 kills on the day. Gilliams with the first touch. Megan Holder with the set and a successful kill for Connect 4. She's going to get 5 on the day, though. That nickname goes to the trash can. Holland Gilliams checks out, and Connect 5 comes back for her serving attempts. See a stat that not every announcer would notice. Kara Oxenconnect wearing nails today, a difficult playing factor that not every player is playing with. We will be corrected if I'm wrong. Mary Garner's got nails on. Kara Oxenconnect has nails on. I think they're the only 2 on the court right now. Kara Oxenconnect just making the game difficult for herself. That's just how good of a player she is. Carly Lane with the serve for the Western Illinois Leathernecks. And Nina Schubert's unsuccessful dig is saved by Lucy Arndt, and then she blocks it. Lucy Arndt, what a defensive prowess. We're going to need to look at that later. Holland Gilliams with the first touch. Megan Holder with a deep dump. Western Illinois wasn't ready for that, but it took so long for that ball to land. They had a chance to get to it. And Mary Gardner will get a successful point. Unsuccessful dive there by Madeline Norton. Great effort by the great Lucy Arndt on that one. What a defensive show out from Arndt. She helps Schubert, who ricocheted her dig. Something that really never happened. So you know Lucy Arndt wasn't prepared for it. And then she saves that, comes right back and gets a block after. Great defense there. And the team leader in attacks and kills, Lucy Arndt. on the outside for Cruz. Set by Blue. Aren't too far. Alicia Perez back to serve. SEMO 6, Western Illinois 7. Lucy Arndt with the attack. Set by Perez. Block attempt by Arndt and Gardner. Unsuccessful. It'll be a successful kill for Marker. Marker comes into this game and is really making a strong impact already. She's already got 2 kills on 4 attempts. Perez's serve finds Schuberth. Blue finds Gardner. And you know what Gardner did. She found the bottom of the court. Tori hyping her teammate up on that one. How could you not after the game that Gardner is having? 12 kills on the match so far. Here is the serve from Lucy Arndt. Set by Alicia Perez. Outside was Cruz. It was an unsuccessful kill. Go down as just an attempt. Here's Lucy Arndt for the Redhawks. Cruz with a give and go to Perez. Gilliams was ready for it. Kara Oxenknecht with a surprise dump. Western Illinois was ready for it. Oxenknecht and Gardner get their hands on that. Gilliams comes in for the second touch. Every Tory tips and Marker making that impact that we were just talking about on that right outside position, diving all around. And we're going to have to take a second to make sure everybody is okay. Looks like the Leathernecks are good. Coach Starr making sure his stars are all good. Making sure nobody's stealing stars. Wouldn't want that to happen. Great effort by this Western Illinois defense in an even better dump by Landry Blue. We saw 2 dumps on that rally. Megan Holder and Landry Blue. We've seen 2 dumps recently. Megan Holder gave 1, and Blue gave that one. We saw Oxenknecht on that same rally give a dump as well. Lucy Arndt back to serve. Backslide for Marker. Set by Blue. Gardner in the middle. Who is going to stop Mary Gardner? Seriously, what a showout and what a last 2 games for Ramiri Gardner. We take a quick look at that last play by Gardner, untouched on the kill. Nobody able to return it. Set by Lane. First touch by Lane. Set for Marker. And Landry Blue with a reception error on that one. Trying to do coding right there for our squad. Don't know where to serve. Where it's coming. Kind of lining up. Blue sets for Johnson, and Johnson with a successful kill. Right back at Blue, who just had that blunder of a reception error. Goes right back and gets an assist. That's how you do it, Landry Blue. You make a mistake, and you come back even stronger. Holland Gilliams set to serve for the Redhawks. First touched by Cruz. Set by Perez on the outside to Adair. And it'll be Western Illinois' point. I would like to see this replay. Adair on the outside, and that was correct. That was an error by Holland Gilliams. I knew I shouldn't have said it earlier. Holland Gilliams, 3 straight. Whoa! Kara Oxenknecht absolutely connected with that ball. Whoa! That one literally made me speechless. The set by Blue goes to Oxenknecht, and it puts Alicia Perez down on a knee. She wasn't even ready for it. Kara Oxenknecht, what a kill. We were just talking about Holland Gilliams. Unfortunately, snaps her 3-game streak, her 3-game straight streak of 1,000 serving or 1,000 reception percentage. She hadn't made a receiving error in the last 3 games. She unfortunately made one here in this third set. She's going to come back from it. You know how Holland Gilliams likes to play the Jackson native, a stellar defensive player. You see Coach Starr talking to his freshman marker. She's getting some of that action today. As we said earlier, this team is inexperienced. They got freshmen and they got juniors who haven't played in college before. Marker getting a talk from Starr. SEMO comes right back and gets on the board. What a game that Kara Oxenknecht is having. The middle backs of SEMO really having a stellar show out and a stellar season. I mean, Elena Lester isn't even playing today, ladies and gentlemen. Elena Lester isn't even playing. One of this team's strongest middle backs. You got Gardner, you got Oxenknecht, and you got 24 Elena Lester. You see her down there on the bench. Is the SEMO squad getting hype on the bench. Good vibes all around. You see the smiles. But yeah, as we were saying about these middle backs for SEMO, this team is so deep. Mary Gardner, Elena Lester, and Kara Oxenknecht. You seriously could advocate for all three of them earning a starting lineup spot this season. Schuberth. It looked like she just grabbed an ace. Schuberth back to serve again. Cruz in the back row. Holder sets for St. John, and a successful kill for St. John. Katie St. John with the kill. And that'll cause Western Illinois to take a timeout. We're looking at this last play, the back set by Holder, and a kill by St. John. Great look at that slow-mo replay. And that will take us to a break. I'm Kyler Messenger. Be right back in the third set for Ohio Valley Conference Women's Volleyball. The wait is over. We welcome you back into Hauk Fieldhouse. I'm Kyler Messenger. That's Nina Schuberth, and we are back. Nina Schuberth comes back from the break, unfortunately, with an error. Nina Schuberth is now only 5 aces away from tying a single-season record for SEMO. And she just had an error on that one, but before that play, she had an ace, putting her 5 away from the record. Schuberth already has the record. She's looking to break her own record for single-season aces. Set 4. Cruz on the outside. And now is Arndt returning for the Redhawks. Soaring in the sky. Lucy Arndt making an impact. As we were just saying, Nina Schuberth, 5 service aces away from breaking the record. She's at 44 on the year. The record is 49. And once again, as I said, who's it set by? It's set by Nina Schuberth herself. She's trying to break her own record. Oxenknecht with the first touch. Holder with the second. St. John with the third. It'll go to the Western Illinois Leathernecks side. Looks like Cruz's hit was just a little bit outside. Oxenknecht watches it go, and SEMO goes up 7. They're up 5. Terrible man. Excuse me. Kara Oxenknecht back with the serve. Out for Cruz on the outside. And Oxenknecht laughs that one off. Looks like she was trying to get her hands away from that one as they were out there. Instinct put them there. And coach and told her to pull him away. Look at that hit by Cruz. And Oxy Connect with a service error on that one. No problem. Oxy Connect has definitely made it up. So far on the day, Kara Oxy Connect has 7 kills on 12 attacks. This SEMO team is hitting 309 today. Now, that's not necessarily out of this water. Is 309 hitting absurd? Absolutely. Hitting 309 is just nuts at the Division I level in a game, and that's what SEMO's doing. They've had better so far in the season. They've had better against Lindenwood in their most recent game. They did hit 339. Schubert and Arndt slowly watch that ball go out as Abby Johnson, the former Red Hawk middle back, the one to make the out-of-bounds call. That one brings Western Illinois to a timeout. SEMO up 6. Take a look at that last play, which was watched by Schubert and Arndt, and wow, is that difficult to see. That ball, a correct call there by the line judge. A fantastic call by Johnson, the former SEMO Red Hawk. You see that ball, full thing has to land in bounds for it to be an inbounds play. That ball landed out of bounds. Referee talking to the line judge, Abby Johnson. And SEMO's up 6, 19-13 in the Red Hawks' favor. Look at that Red Hawks huddle. Head coach, Julie Yankus. You see right behind her, assistant coach, Mark Moore. Now, Mark Moore is in his second stint with this team. He's in his first year back. He's previously spent 4 years with the program. And then he went and coached some local Cape Girardeau club teams and did his thing. Now he's back here at SEMO. A little fun fact about assistant coach Mark Moore. He's the former head coach at Robert Morris University. Well, small world. We got another former Robert Morris University head coach. That's right, Dale Starr, the head coach of Western Illinois, used to be the head coach of Robert Morris University. Mark Moore, the assistant coach for SEMO, used to be the head coach of Robert Morris University. Some interesting tidbits of information about these coaching staffs. We'll take a quick replay at that last play while I was yapping about the coaches and talk about the play. It was a kill for Ziegler. Ziegler, all her kills have been ferocious. She's hitting 6 kills on the day for 12 attempts. She's hitting 417. She has had a couple errors, which brings that to not 500. Marin Johnson checks in the game for the Red Hawks. It's 20-14 in their favor. 5 points away from a victory. Western Illinois, once again, hoping to itch on a little bit of a comeback. Set for Cruz. Blue to Torrey. Blue to Johnson. And a great dig there by Lane. Set in the back row. SEMO's going to be able to return it. Johnson able to get a hand on that and immediately calls for a tip. Immediately. She's still doing it. She is still calling for a tip. She hasn't stopped calling for a tip since the ball left her hand. We'll grab a look at that last play because we're going to go to the instant replay coordinations crew to see what happened on that one. Marin Johnson, pretty adamant that she touched that ball. Western Illinois obviously needs this point more than SEMO does. So they're really hoping that this one stays in their favor. That last play went to Marin Johnson on the outside. And she thinks it was tipped by the front line of the Leathernecks. Referee's original call was Western Illinois' punt. Yankus, Moore, and Beal-Smith in that huddle coaching the Red Hawk girls. And we're going to take a look at that replay that we are reviewing right now. So, Johnson got the hit, and we'll go slow to see if that ball was tipped at the line. We need to go slow right at that tip. We're looking right here. Did Marker touch it after Johnson did? And oh man, is that close. You see the referee and our instant replay coordinator on that iPad, checking out all angles, checking out to see if that ball was touched. by Ashley Markert. This Western Illinois team been playing good today, although they're down 2-0. Kiana Cruz still has 9 kills, and Kennedy Adair has 8. Elizabeth Ziegler has 7, and this squad has been sharing the love all around. A little bit of a fun fact here for this Western Illinois team. We talked about them having freshmen who haven't played, as the referee rules against SEMO in Western Illinois' favor. Well, you see the celebration going on as Caroline Clayton is getting thrown in the air. The little fun fact that I was about to give you guys is freshman Martina Sowiak is from a Polish-speaking high school. That's right, Sowiak is from the greater Chicago area. She's from Bartlett, Illinois, but she went to a Polish-speaking high school, a first-generation Polish student. Her parents come from Poland, and now Sowiak making her mark on this Western Illinois team. Has yet to see action today, but Sowiak, it's a cool information, speaks Polish. SEMO comes out of the break and gets on the board immediately. Looking at Sowiak next to Kaya Franklin on that bench, and to her left, Grace Kremer. Set by Perez. On the outside to Markert. A successful kill for Ashley Markert. Ashley Markert has only played the third set today. She's only played the third, and she's 4th on this team in kills with 5. 5 kills this set. First touch by Arndt, perfectly placed for Blue. And Blue, a great set for Tori, just a little bit too much sauce. Take a look at that play. A good back set by Blue, and oh man, was it close for Avery Torrey. It was just a little bit too far. Holland Gilliams gets it to Blue, who gets it to connect, who slides in the middle. What a play there for the Redhawks for Kara Oxenconnect. SEMO goes up 22-17. Take a real quick look at that Kara Oxenconnect kill. And we are back underway with Megan Holder serving. Set by Perez to Markert, going for her 6th of the set. Unsuccessful, and SEMO is 2 points away from coming home with a victory. Coach Starr forced to call a timeout on that one. We're going to go ahead and look at our upcoming schedules between these two teams. As we mentioned, the season's almost wrapped up. For me personally, this will be my second to last game broadcasting with you guys. SEMO only has one more home game left. After they play Western Illinois tomorrow, that is it. They will have 2 more games. They play next week against SIUE. 2 games against SIUE back-to-back on the 18th and the 19th. And then it's the OVC tournament. We are yet to see who is hosting that OVC tournament. We're going to give you guys a quick little update on that Eastern Illinois Morehead State game. And it is currently just ending. As this SEMO game is about to end, Eastern Illinois has defeated Morehead State. If you guys remember those standings that we looked at between the second and the third set, Morehead State is in first in the OVC, and Eastern Illinois is in second. They just beat Morehead State 25-12 in the third set. We're going to be seeing the OVC tournament most likely be hosted in Eastern Illinois. The set goes up for Katie St. John, and she'll have a successful kill. It is game point here in Cape Girardeau. Megan Holder with the serve. First touched by Western Illinois. It was Cruz, and then it was Perez who got the set. Western Illinois stays on the board and stays alive. SEMO still at game point. Western Illinois really going to have to dig deep and see what they got here. This is Madeline Norton, the lefty, to serve. Aren't with the first touch. Holder, 2 arcs and connect on the slide, but Cruz was ready. Sent over by Adair. SEMO said that ball did not get over the net, and it didn't. A successful set win for SEMO, a successful game win for SEMO. Your player of the game is going to be Ramiri Gardner. Ramiri Gardner coming off a game where she hit 71%, tops it. She tops it and hits 76.5%. Ramiri Gardner finished his game with 13 kills on 17 attacks. Ramiri Gardner is a mad woman. She is an animal, and what a fantastic volleyball team that SEMO has. We will see you here tomorrow when Western Illinois and SEMO match up again. Before that, we're going to take you guys out with a quick look at that final play of the match. You saw Yankees calling for it early, and it was a successful call and a successful win for SEMO. Kennedy Adair and Kiana Cruz lead Western Illinois with 9 kills apiece. Ramiri Gardner leads SEMO with 13. SEMO takes the game 3-0, and we'll see you tomorrow. My name is Kyler Messenger, and you have been watching Ohio Valley Conference Women's Volleyball. I'm saying so long from the Houck Fieldhouse, where the final match is SEMO 3, Western Illinois 0. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. My name's Kyler, and this has been a presentation of ESPN+.